Hello and welcome back to the Med Spa Growth and Profitability Show. I'm your host, April Iannazzone, and today I'm excited because we're joined by the wonderful Patti Biro. Patti is the founder of Patti Biro and Associates, a consulting firm specializing in creating brand enrichment through brand definition, program planning, special events, retail consulting, and education in personal products, spa, and wellness industries. Located in Texas, Patti serves clients throughout the U.S. and Canada. And Patti began working with medical spas in 1995. So you've been in this industry for a good amount of time, and I'm sure you're going to be able to spread some light for us. I appreciate that. And she has continued to develop integrated programs for hospitals, wellness centers, associations, and employers. Her approach is to combine the best of the wellness and lifestyle program components with medical spas and day spa services and retail. This unique business model requires a thorough understanding of regulatory, scope of practice, and compliance guidelines for the medical spas and wellness environment. She's a frequent speaker, author, and panelist on the medical spa, gift, and personal accessories trade show industry circuit. She writes extensively for trade show magazines such as Skin Deep, Massage Magazine, Les Nouvelles, you're going to pronounce that for me, say that.
Les Nouvelles Esthétique and Spa.
And she serves as Director of Education. So sorry for butchering your intro, Patti, but I'm so excited that you're here with me today.
I'm so excited to be here talking about medical spa. As you shared, I've been working in medical spa since 1995, and I call that the dinosaur age of med spa. Back in 95, we didn't have a whole lot of retail products. We didn't have a whole lot of services, but you could already see that this was an industry that was just getting ready to just explode because we had the services and the results that people were looking for.
I love that. And what made you get into that industry to begin with?
Well, it's like a lot of things in my life, there's always an interesting story. I love to write, and at that time I was living in Corpus Christi, Texas. I had started a wedding magazine with a colleague of mine, and I actually sold an ad to one of the first med spas in southern Texas. And I was relatively new to the whole concept of med spa, but I knew that brides are always trying to become much more attractive for their special day, and it seemed like a perfect match. And I went on to do a lot of marketing for them. So that was my very first med spa I worked with. Fell in love with the entire industry and the whole concept. And I'm still in love with it to this day.
Awesome. So when someone's going to reach out to you, do they mainly come to you for brand positioning first, or do they come wanting to pull together retail products, or tell us actually how you serve?
Actually, that is a fascinating question because I think it occurs at three different lifestyle points in a medical spa or a business that wants to add med spa services. So the first point is probably in development, where somebody is thinking about maybe expanding their medical practice and doing more aesthetic medicine med spa services. The interim point might be after they've been open for a couple of years, anywhere between 2 years and 10 years, and they basically need a reboot, a refresh, a rebranding, kind of almost a reincarnation, because things have changed so much. And then sometimes when they're a little more mature or after they've kind of mastered the basics, now they're ready to get what I say, real about retail. And so at any one of those time points, people reach out to me. And of course, now as the economy is getting better, as physicians across the country are looking for alternative sources of income, there are more and more people coming to me on the development phase.
Very, very cool. And do you find that most of the people most of your practices are selling the retail just in the location, or are they also doing online sales as well?
Well, this is the sad truth. There are still a lot of med spas out there that are not selling retail, and if they are, they're not selling very much of it. Mm-hmm. Very few of them have gone to online services for retail products, which is really
that's what we're seeing too.
Because it really hurts them in terms of visibility. And even if they choose not to sell retail products online, they should at least list the products that they have, because those are brand differentiators. And so I think retail is one of the areas of missed opportunity for not only revenue, but also for branding opportunities.
Absolutely. And so, you know, the obvious, someone listening, they're going to think you are going to help them actually brand their own retail products. Is that correct?
Well, that's absolutely a possibility. But what I like to get is the concept going of creating retail collections. Because without a doubt, you want to sell retail that promotes your brand. And that may be private label, it may not be. But you want to always link retail purchases with the services that you provide. But there also has to be a little fun factor. And depending on the menu of services that you offer, it's very easy to add those things in. So it isn't just skincare or body care or a body lotion. It can be some other things which are therapeutic but fun, like bath salts, bath bombs, body brushes, shower caps, some things that kind of go with this idea of a collection. And I just think it's very important for people to realize the power of retail in the medical spa.
Absolutely. As a consumer, I always want to purchase products that are going to make my results last longer or let me heal a little bit better. And, you know, it's funny that you said the fun factor to be brought in. Most of the time, I really do want the best tools to apply depending on what it is. Or, you know, I want something for that full experience. And I will be one of the first to admit that, again, as a consumer, if the spa or even, let's say, the day spa too, they don't offer those products, but somebody mentions it to me, I'll go on Amazon and I'll look for a certain product that's going to complement that service. But if the practice had it there, I would buy it straight from them.
Absolutely. You know, there's a funny thing that happens. It's human psychology. After we have a treatment or a service, it's almost like it triggers our retail shopping gene. And within 48 hours, many people will go and buy a product. What we don't want is we really don't want them going to Walgreens or Walmart, where they may be buying something that is actually going to minimize or reduce the effectiveness. My philosophy, when I work with people, I try to help them understand that to not do a retail recommendation is to not finish delivering the service. You can't separate it from the service. It's part of the service. It would be as if you went to a restaurant and they didn't offer you dessert.
Yeah.
You would feel like you really hadn't gotten great service. So it really has to be integrated into the whole delivery of the protocols, the closing, and there's so much power in a personal recommendation. And in retail, yes, it's about prolonging effectiveness, but we know that a retail purchase is going to help somebody come back to your med spa, come back to your practice, come back to your day spa or resort.
I love that, and I was just taking some notes because especially what you just said, you know, that's a tweetable, as we want to say. Not offering or doing a retail recommendation, You're not completing your service, and it's absolutely true. You touched on a little bit of the benefits of offering retail products in their medical spa, you know, by bringing them back in the door. Can you talk about some more of the potential benefits that everybody could have?
Sure, I'd love to, because I think that when you're thinking through a service, whether you're adding a new service or tweaking it, you always want to create this little collection of products that will go along with that service, whether it's body contouring or injectables, because that delivers a complete 110% service. It will extend the impact of the service that you've had. What that does when people get great results and people start to make lovely comments is that they now feel that they are getting maximum return on their investment, which, what does that lead to? I'm going to go and write you a beautiful review on your website. I'm going to go to Yelp or TripAdvisor. I'm going to recommend you to my friends when they say, wow, you look like you have minus 10 years off your thing. I think that's really important. And then also the retention and this brand building idea, because one of the things, and this is something that I love to work with people on, and most people are not doing, there's a whole concept called retail replenishment, which is really proactive, not reactive. So if I buy a great cleanser from you today at the Med Spa because it's going to help, calm down my sun damage or whatever, and in your office that's going to last about 2.5, almost 3 months. If you call me at month 2.5, if you have not seen me, now you can say, hey, we'd really love to have you come in. But I'm going to guess that you're running out of cleanser. I can have it here for you at the welcome desk, all ready to go.
I love that.
That's really proactive retail. Not only that, what have you done? You've provided another service, because I'm probably going to run out of cleanser at 11 o'clock at night. I might go online. We don't want that to happen. Plus, it's another opportunity to have a conversation with that person.
Absolutely. And actually now, I kind of mentioned Amazon before. I did need a refill before I had to go back to the med spa that I go to. And I went on Amazon, and now I use Obagi products. They put it on subscription. So yes. I could now, if I wanted to click that box, obviously I love the place I go to, so I'm going back there. But most people are going to click that box because they're going to save a little bit of money. It's going to be on auto ship. But if you offered it in the first place and you have the follow-up procedures in place to get them back in the door, it's a no-brainer for them. But it almost is too late if you don't offer it.
Exactly. And I think that, a lot of people are always complaining about Amazon. What people in the spa industry, and this includes med spa, day spa, whatever, we can out Amazon. We can deliver higher quality service, be proactive. And one of the things that I think we forget about is that we haven't reached the point yet where we can go online and get our virtual facial or injectables. So you've got this guest coming through the door. You have the opportunity to really connect with them, make a wonderful first impression or a lasting impression, create an experience. Part of that experience is retail. So when I hear people complain about Amazon, I just go, well, ramp up your customer service. Be proactive. Help them. Be available for additional recommendations.
Absolutely. And then I don't believe Amazon's the competition if you are delivering and doing, your team is doing their job. Let me ask you a quick question, because, we talked about that private labeling is something that they can offer, but I just want to make sure I'm clear and the listeners are clear. Even if they're not doing private labeling and they're offering other retail products, how do they build that around their brand? How can other labels represent their brand?
Well, I think every new business or every existing business has I call it kind of the mission, vision, and vibe. They've got a certain vibe to their practice. They may be a medical spa, but maybe they really want to be more green and organic. And I love to say, hey, where does Botox come from? We all know. So, there's a natural component there that could be employed. Maybe because they're in an area, like I live in Texas, we're really heavy on products which have a lot of light and sun protection in them. So we can look at what's the flavor of that particular med spa, where are they located, who are they going for, if they are going to men, definitely, which when I started in this business, it was probably 1/2% male. It is easily 12% and growing every single year in terms of male guests. So, absolutely. And maybe you're pitching even teens and tweens who are coming in for medical spa services. So you want to segment those retail products, even if you don't private label, to your age demographics, to your particular mission, vision, and vibe, and kind of the feel and the culture of your location. And anything else that's unique. And then the other thing is, like I said, I love to create collections that match with menus. So if I'm really big into body sculpting, I would have an entire collection of products that help support my goal to have a more shapelier figure.
I love that. Very, very good. Now, and that's something that you can actually help them with, coming up with the right collection for the services they offer. Wonderful. Now, Patti, medical spas are often providing a wide variety of services that are not always medical. What is the common challenge you see when offering other services or when other services are added?
Oh, I can't thank you enough for asking this question because literally every week I get a phone call, an email, a text from someone. Most physicians presume if they are a physician and they are operating a medical practice, that is all the licensing that they need in order to add in additional services. Well, that most generally is not the case. If you are offering, let's say, take a popular service as microblading, that actually in most states falls under tattoo licensing. If you're going to begin to offer massage, which can be very beneficial in weight loss and body contouring, you are probably going to need a massage establishment license. And probably the most common misunderstanding that I see is understanding what are medical treatments or procedures and what are esthetician and board of cosmetology procedures.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, what I frequently find is that people don't understand they need to have additional licenses and where the scope of practice begins and ends for those additional services. That doesn't mean don't offer them because it just rounds out that 360 approach. And many of those services, I think, are very complementary to Med Spa services. We just want to make sure you're doing it with the correct license and that you have the correct insurance liability coverage for yourself, your practice, and your employees.
Absolutely. And I do want to mention, though, even though for the most part a lot of them complement each other, some really don't. So I know, I'm just going to, again, use myself as an example because, I spend a lot of money in this space as well as work with hundreds of clients in this space. So I don't necessarily want my med spa to be offering waxing or salon type services because to me, that even though they're complementary, it doesn't give that level of professionalism that I'm still looking for in my medical spa provider or, my service provider. But I know, and I guess it depends on, again, that vibe that your practice is going for.
Well, you know what? I'm going to agree with you 110%, especially when we start to talk about profitability. Because medical spa services, when you create packages and bundles and a great menu that is, my other big deal is that I like to see menus that are solution driven so that if my concern are brown spots due to sun exposure, when I was a crazy kid and didn't wear sunscreen, I want to know all of the services that you have. But when I come to a med spa, it's kind of like going to a 4-star hotel, 5-star hotel, a really great hotel or restaurant. I'm expecting a little higher level of service, and I'm not crazy about waxing being in a medical spa. I think you should look at what can I offer that is med spa first, and then what other services support that and make the entire experience better, but not having every service in the book just
because you could.
That to me, I'm with you. It just doesn't fit for this kind of higher level experience we're looking for.
I agree. And also, there are many medical spas out there that aren't really looking for that higher level of perception, which, again, that's knowing your audience, knowing your community and understanding your vibe, that you're really going to go for that know, look, and feel that experience that you're creating. And there's spaces in this industry for all different types, but you do have to go in knowing what that experience you want to create, what that feeling you want for your client. And I know that you could help people bring that whole roundabout experience together.
Well, I still think that one of the missing links in most medical practices and most dental practices too, because dental practitioners, I think, are an extension of the aesthetic industry and can be very important, is really to understand the power of hospitality and do hospitality training, have hospitality protocols and procedures that you follow. Because when people are doing an elective service and are paying for it out of their own pocket, we do have a higher expectation of, because we're paying for it. It's not insurance, it's not a third party.
And we don't need it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, very, very true. So, Patti, I know that you have years of experience behind you. You've helped people build the brands. You help them create really extra income streams, creating and developing these different products for them. So, how can people get in touch with you if they really just want to start investigating their next move?
Absolutely. One of the things that I like to do is I will offer a brief complimentary consult, and that way we can identify what your key issues are and whether I'm the right person that you need to be speaking with. If not, lots of other people I can refer you to. I have a website, it's really easy, www.pattibiro.com. I'm on Facebook as Patti Biro and Associates. You'll find me on Instagram. I'm everywhere.
Awesome.
And I'd be delighted to speak with people who are looking for a little help. You just cannot be a Jack or a Jill of all trades. And there's probably not an easy way to have the depth and the breadth of retail or special event knowledge that I've acquired, since the dinosaurs were in South Texas.
No. I love that you said, if I'm not the right, you might not be the right fit for everybody. And that's definitely something that you want to look for when you're trying to find anybody that's going to help you grow their business or grow your business. You don't want somebody that's going to just take on clients. You want to make sure it's a mutual fit for both. And I do trust that Patti, if she is not the right fit for you, she'll point you in the right direction. So make sure you check out Patti. And thank you so much. It was fun.
It was my pleasure. Have a great day.
Are you ready to stop visualizing how amazing your med spa could be and actually start living it? Now, I'm not talking in the far future or in a couple years from now. I'm talking about right now in the present. So are you really ready? I'm Iannazzone. My team and I focus on helping med spas rapidly scale their business. So here's your 7 to 8 figure answer. Set up a free $1 million marketing call with one of my growth strategists today. There is zero obligation, no strings attached to this call. In fact, we deliver so much value during this call, you'll walk away knowing exactly what your next best business move should be. So click the button now and book in a time that works best for you. We're so excited and cannot wait to see the transformation of your med spa.